The Seattle Seahawks have made punter Michael Dickson the highest paid punter in the National Football League, and I don't think any 12th man's going to have one iota of an issue with that. Well-deserved, well-paid out here is Michael Dickson, since he came to the Seattle Seahawks 7 years ago as a fifth-round pick, has been a tremendous punter for this team. Not merely good, great. If a punter can be on a Hall of Fame type of trajectory, Michael is on it, and he has maintained it, and he has been consistently in that area and mode every single year of his career. It's also, as well, when you're giving out a top paid position at the punter position, it's not exactly like they're making dollar for dollar equivalency to what, let's say, the receivers or cornerbacks or defensive ends are making at the top of the market goes. But Michael has been tremendous. The Seahawks took him in the 5th round back there in 2018, hoping that you were going to get the best punter in that draft. And that's just what you got. There's not a lot of metrics to use to try to look at punters and establish their total value, where they stand. How good really are they? It's a position that is also very reliant on the other guys around you to be doing their jobs. In particular, when you're trying, for instance, get a punt inside the 20-yard line, you need your guy to get up there to get the ball down inside the 20. And of course, with Michael, we've seen it many times where our return units in that way aren't always the best at downing the punts. He'll put it in the right spot, they just won't get it down, and it get frustrating for him on that. But the other markers you look at for him, statistically speaking, average and net. Michael is up as far as some of the top marks ever in NFL history. He's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 3rd all-time in average, which is tremendous at about 48 yards per punt. But he's even also up there in net, because somebody might say, well, he's got the average, but that's just him out kicking his coverage. So what does he do as far as net goes? Again, net, like inside the 20, is very, very, very heavily leaned and weighted upon having a unit around you that's doing their job. But Michael's net is still, I believe, up in the top 15 of all time, meaning that this is a guy that if a Hall of Fame punter could be on a Hall of Fame trajectory, Michael Dickson is absolutely on that. So make this guy the highest paid punter to basically assure the fact that he's going to be in Seattle for the totality of his career, or at least through the age of probably 34 years old. And he shows no signs of slowing down. On this portion of your team, this third element of your team, an element that some teams look at as something that we just have to kind of get through, get by with. The Seattle Seahawks instead look at their special teams and they say this is going to be a weaponized portion of our team, and it's all going to flow and work together. We're going to be able to play some top-end defense. We're going to run the ball on offense, and you better believe we're going to be a dynamic special teams unit. And the Seahawks have taken a big, huge step towards accomplishing that by having a guy in Jason Myers who's one of the highest paid kickers in the sport, and now by making Michael Dickson the highest paid punter in the sport. It's not a philosophy you just kind of fell into, but something that you're driving towards. And historically speaking, whether we're talking about footballs played in the 1960s or 70s or 80s or 90s or any time in the 2000s, when you have a team that's going to run the ball, play great defense, and have a top-notch special teams unit, that's absolutely a type of team that can become a contender. That's absolutely the type of team that can go win a division. So Michael Dickson, well earned on your part. Good to have you aboard here, hopefully through the whole course of your career. You've been a hell of a punter, and if there is a Hall of Fame trajectory that you could be upon, if that is still possible in this modern age when few punters can get through that area, you are on that path. Hopefully you can get there. I don't think any 12's upset about this one, but everybody was celebrating this one in mass, and that's saying something, because usually on these kind of typical deals, you'll get at least a couple of people that'll be naysayers, but nobody here. Everybody's standing up and applauding. Michael Dickson back in the fray. Seahawks special teams unit. It's going to be a monster this season.